Hi, good evening, friends. Achha. Audible? So I take care of third-party products, non-resident business, and the virtual channel. My colleagues from the morning have been putting up a host of presentations. I'm a little inferior that I'm going to only do 3-slide presentation. So I beg pardon for that. Can we have the I think they are searching the 3 slides. So I think that's the one. Fine. So, yeah, it's there. Thank you. Okay, let me give you a small heads up on what our strengths are there on the third-party products. As you're all aware, after 2019, post the regulatory changes, as a bank, we are not supposed to do advisory, so we are a hardcore distribution strength. Across 6,300 branches, we distribute mutual funds and insurance products across an open architecture, which Sashi was talking in the morning. Our strengths are, we have about 12% market share in the private sector insurance, and if you take LIC also together as a whole, we have about 8% market share, which says that the volumes that we, or the premiums that we mobilize year on year is as good as the third or the fourth largest insurance company, all put together. So that's a strength. On non-life, it is an annuity product, it's an annual contract, so we are a little laggard, we are at about 1.9% in the private sector. We have plans and strategies to take it to the next levels. On mutual funds, we have about 5.07% of the total asset under management. We roughly about 85 to 90,000 crores of asset under management. I think Rakesh will cover in depth on how the distribution is spread across. So what are key metrics? In premium mobilization, we are number 2. Number 1, everybody knows it's SBI. On fee income, we are the largest. Overall, largest contributor to all the insurance partners. Banca, we are the pioneers. We have a very strong methodology, which I think you would have seen in the past, but I just want to reiterate that it's not the first step of selling to a customer that we finish. What proves our strength is what processes that we undertake to ensure that the sale is the right sale. Because these are the products where it's very, very imperative that the sale has to be a right sale. Because if you do any mis-sell, if there is any mis-sell that happens, not only the customer gets irritated, but he also loses out our relationship across all the corners of the bank. So we are the only bank who do something called the pre-verification call before even the application gets logged into the respective insurance manufacturer. There is a central team which calls on the recorded line and confirms to the customer saying that this is the product he has taken, whether it's a par product, non-par, ULIP, and so on and so forth. And post the confirmation is the login done. If even a small error on the phone that no, that form doesn't get logged in. That testimony is defined by the proof of the pudding that my complaints in the insurance is the most negligible one, which has been disclosed in the website as well as to the regulators. That is one of the biggest strengths we do. The second strength is with the artificial intelligence and with the partners' underwriting and actuarial skill sets, we have created a concept called the pre-approved sum assured. So every customer with us will have what we feel based on his transaction, his profile, on his age and so on and so forth, we feel how much should be the coverage either on the life part or the medical or even the general part that the customer should have. And that narrative, like how Arvind was saying, and thanks to the marketing team which had constructed this, on the CRM, on the next best action, this is one of the priorities where the RM communicates the same thing. And the narratives are the same. We are not doing any orderly scripts on the narrative. Narratives are the same on customers, pre-approved, sum assured. And we have been doing a very good job on that. And now with more integration, we will increase the base. We'll be increasing and covering a lot more customers in that base. On any complaint that comes in across any third-party products, we have a L1, L2 level where we have an external ombudsman. Before doing any denial, it is ratified by the external ombudsman. And that's kind of a robust methodology we have when we do about third-party products. And mutual funds, to just give you a small thought process, we don't have any complaints in mutual funds. It's a 98% digital journey for customers in the mutual funds. We are a very, very open architecture that way. We have recommendation done by the central research team. I think you might know my team members who participate in the research. They put out the recommendation, and across the length and breadth of the country and 25,000 more certified staff, they talk the same language. There's nothing that is positioned to a customer which is not a part of a recommendation. And in case the customer wants to participate, it's available on my net banking with certain declaration that he's doing it on his own. So this is the channel which I would love to talk about. We have the virtual relationship channel. 6 years back, we thought that why should I force a customer in how I want to reach him? Let him decide how he wants to reach me. So in that perspective, we created a virtual channel. And I don't know whether I should say fortunately or unfortunately, COVID hit us in the month of March. Everything became digital. Everything became phone-based. Everything became team-based, Zoom-based, and whatever you want to call. So we started participating, enjoying that journey by reaching out to the customer in his necessary time through phone. Believe me, our guys were essential services, so we were allowed to walk into the office and connect with the customer. And that's where we started experiencing that this is a very strong mode of reaching out to the customers. What do we do there? We didn't do anything. We don't do sales. We only checked in the initial stages how the customer was. Is there anything the bank could do? Are there any financial services that he wants to do at his doorsteps? And that was provided to him. Simple steps, nothing much. Like how Arvind said, liability cannot be sold, it has to be garnered. So we took that route saying that in 4.5 minutes, I'm not in a position to contact a customer and talk to him about liabilities. The maximum I can tell him is, we respect you as a customer, and here are the product suites which we think are pre-approved for you. Pick and choose what you want. And that's where we were very successful, and the kind of units that we generate are quite phenomenal. We touch base close to about 25 million customers. We have a average revenue growth of about 16 to 18%. It's a low-cost channel. Initially, because of the infrastructure capex cost, it would look something blown up, but I think it's on a longer run, it will become a single-digit cost center. So this is one thing which I really feel so proud. I think the entire board and Sashi have given us this mandate. We changed our phone banking name into Virtual Care, and seriously, we care. So what we have done, when we wanted to revamp the channel, we reached out to some brilliant consultants who give presentations like this, you know. So we asked them, what are the global standards? They said 85% of the customers are serviced in 20 seconds. We did small little good things that we know on the ground, and we went wrong. We did 92% of the customers in 9 seconds. So the same consultant took our numbers, and now I think they are going outside and presenting how we do things. So that's one thing which we clearly said, that when a customer reaches out to me, the touch point to reach out to the bank is a decision of the customer, whether he goes to a branch, mobile, net, web, or phone. I need to service him. And when I'm talking about service, what Arvind alluded to is I need to bring a smile on the customer face when he keeps the phone. And that's why we try to reach out. And if you see certain numbers here, the resolution TAT is 99.93%. We faltered in 0.07%. We are rectifying it. It's a continuous process. The closure is at about 99.79% because certain times there are external dependencies also for the closure. And I think our email team has also become quite robust. The first set of people who started working from home since the 23rd of March when the COVID hit us is the email management team. So they were quite integrated and they were completely supportive of the cause that they have to respond within the set TAT of 24 hours. And customers have been appreciating on that. We used to have a model where when the customer reaches out to phone banking, we had an opportunity to cross-sell. So we changed that. We said that the larger portion of the phone banking will only be service, and people who are not being able to be contacted on the outbound because of the regulatory environment, when they come in, there will be a very small dedicated team which will also have a serve to buy concept. I will service him, I will give him the offer, he can go to any channel to pick up what he wants from the bank. So that has been a very successful story so far, and we'll keep improvising on such initiatives to ensure that we believe very strongly it's a customer-centric approach that we have. I always keep telling my team members, all those strategies which were shown to you across all departments, I finally conclude to myself that the bank is run on the ground and I have only two capital to invest. One is the customer and one is my staff. So if I keep my staff very happy, he will keep the customer very happy. अगर घर पे झगड़ा करके आएगा तो वो थोड़ी customer को happy रहेगा. So we keep the environment. So our infra team have worked very hard to create a very eco-friendly environment because we are all call centers, so-called call centers. The environment should be happy. Just imagine 6.5 hours on the phone. So we change certain sequencing. Nothing is manual. Everything is automated because we didn't want to have a data leakage. So we put everything on the dialer. So we kept all manual out of the relationship managers' touch points. Like how we are working on one of the new technology initiatives called Sprinkler that will give a lot of more flavor to these guys and create more efficiency and ease. So with that, I'll stop my bit. In case you guys have any questions to ask, we'll be more than happy to answer.
Yes.
Or can have second session. No, I'm okay starting. No questions? Thank you very much. Arvind, on to you.